I'm here. I'm here. I don't have a cameraman today. Sorry about that. Welcome back to the OFFGRIDer. We're going to make a rock foundation today. What I'm going to use is 8-inch by 16-inch by 2-inch deep blocks. You buy them at Lowe's. They're very cheap, very inexpensive. And we're going to use these as my foundation, believe it or not. People say dig that trench, lay the concrete to it, make a foundation. Nah, not for this. This has no weight. This is going to be used on the front of the house. It's purely for decoration and keeping the wind and the weather from underneath the house. So what I'm going to do first, I took some mortar mix here. Believe it or not, I'm using the family grill. I'm going to mix this mortar up. I'm going to apply it here. I still couldn't find my big trowel. I'm going to put in little clips of the video we made the other day. I had 2 cameras going, but my horrible editing skills, I couldn't splice them together right. What we're going to do is put certain clips of that so you can see what I went through. The reason why I'm standing up today is because I've got a bad hip, bad back. The doctor's researching what's going on. I already had 1 back surgery. I think I explained this before. I had a neck surgery. They were supposed to do a second back surgery, and they never did. Things have gone wrong again. And the one we made Monday, I think it was Monday, I really got things inflamed. Horribly. Doctor gave me 800 milligrams ibuprofen. Yeah, I got to take 2 of them to calm it down a little bit. Plus, I've got some things for neuropathy. But anyway, besides that, that's the reason why I'm standing up. Hope I'm not boring you to death. But we're going to just do it around these slabs. Hopefully at the end we can just slide this right off into place where we're going to be using them. Hopefully. But I've also got a picture of what Sambo did. He continued what we did. And he's got it about, maybe a quarter of the way up the wall. Maybe a little more. I'm going to put in a picture of that. So instead of boring you to death, I am going to stumble through this, but I'm going to mix this mortar mix. Now, this is the only part of this video that's probably going to be like watching paint dry, because mixing mortar mix can be boring. But here I go. And the water is going everywhere, but where I wanted it, of course. Why not? Water never cooperates. I made a nice little hole like a volcano, and it went around it. But I'm still going to make some mortar mix out of this. Now the idea is here not to make it too soupy, and the other idea is don't make it too wet. Either one is not a good combination. Soupy won't hold in place. When you put the bricks together and rocks together, it'll just gradually roll out. Too dry, not going to dry very well. Put in just a little bit more. Get a good hand squeeze like I like to do. Hopefully this doesn't bore you. Most people don't use their hands. Well, I'm called the OFFGRIDer for a reason. I was looking at Lowe's today when I bought that little small bag of mortar mix. A trowel like the one I can't find around this house. I had it Monday, but it disappeared. I can't find it. 26 bucks nowadays. I can buy a cheap one for 18 bucks. But, nah, I'll do it with my hands anyway. This much, and for this demonstration, I don't need much. Now this isn't going to last very long, so hopefully I'll go until the end of the cement, the mortar mix. If you guys can last that long, and I hope you can. Hope you can stay with us. I hope you can hear me. We got all sorts of bugs in the background. We got the sun coming in. I'm in the shade. I thought you could see me better in the shade. I'm not sure how that's working with camera. Okay, we're almost there. Matter of fact, I'm in a good starting spot. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this on the brick. I'm going to make me a little foundation. Unfortunately, this mortar mix does not go very far. I only bought it the smallest bags Lowe's had. It's, well, it's in the trash over here. I bought a 10-pound bag. It didn't feel like 10. Maybe it was before it left the store, or before it got to the store, I guess. That's enough to start out. I'm going to spread this pretty good. I don't need it that thick. Just enough to bond. Okay. You can see where I'm coming to with my little foundation. The reason why I'm patting it, brings the moisture to the surface, and it helps bond the rocks. I'm going to choose a rock here. I like the bigger ones on the bottom. Boy, whoever's going to move this slab is going to be having fun. Okay, I'm going to put this in such a way that I can put another piece up against it. That looks halfway decent. I think that might be the way to go. Nope, sorry. Maybe that's the way to go. All right, we're going to go with that. All right, so now what I'm going to do, take some of this, put on the joint spots. If I have this mixed the right consistency, it will stay. Just like you do a block, if you've ever done cinder block. Not much difference. Need a little bit more there on top because this has got a convex area. All right, I'm going to take another rock and I'm going to put up against that. Hey, I might get another rock out of that one. Trying to figure out how to set this one in. Nope. Let's go with that. More like that because of the front. And then I'm going to fill that in with some concrete or some mortar mix. I'm going to take another one of some sort. I'm going to lay on top of that. I'm trying to fill in the gaps. Sambo's here and he's trying to adjust the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you more in
He
frame.
just showed up. Well, that ain't fitting. Just ain't fitting. Don't wave it too much or people can't see me.
There we go.
My pretty face.
You're good.
I know I'm good.
Couldn't quite see everything.
Because I got a pretty face. Just ignore that wiggling right there of the camera.
Oh, they don't mind it.
You don't know what's on their mind. I do. They're like, am I really going to sit through this video? Well, I hope you do.
Oh, you little buddy.
It's not very entertaining. But it's informative. Hopefully, if you've never laid rock before and used mortar mix, hopefully this will answer some of your questions.
You reckon this one will want to help?
No, that one won't help. This is a little mashed tater. She's one of the off-griddle critters. We have a lot of those around here. Okay, you can see how I'm kind of forming it. When you're doing this, you don't want to put too much cement on the face of the rock. You got to brush it off with a wire, and it's hard to do. Harder than you might think.
Mortar makes it look some better quality than the one
Okay,
I used yesterday.
I'm going to use this rock. I'm going to put it somewhere right in there. We got to remember the front of the thing here. Maybe not put it there. Maybe like that. Maybe not. That's the magic of building these things with rock. Finding the correct angle to put them. I'm going to put another rock while I got this going. That one's too flat. This one's rather flat too. But I need a skinny one. That's the end of my mortar. I feel like Curly Joe, Curly Howard sometimes. Or however he makes that sound. Okay, now I'm going to take the mortar mix.
That's a weird travel.
And my mortar mix is about dried up already. I can't get it out of that center.
You want to mix it?
Yeah, go ahead. Just a little, not much. Yeah, it's not going down in there very well. It's just too dry.
Sneak behind you there and grab the trowel.
Don't need a trowel for this.
No, I was gonna get. Oh, okay. You can get up from there.
Yeah, there's no sense of two of us messing our hands up.
I don't need to mess my hands.
A little bit more wet than that. That's still just a little too dry. Whoa! That went everywhere but where it was supposed to go. I think it splashed on my shin bone. This part's a little wet, but that's all right.
I was gonna say I had a bucket for this, but using this, I thought about it, and they can actually see this better.
Yes, they can. Now, I'm not down moaning and groaning and aching, trying to make it through a video.
Yeah.
Like I did the other day.
And trust me, that
Did
was
you
not
explain to them
fun.
this is basically a re-recording?
Yes, and I'm gonna show clips of what we did. I can't use the whole thing. I have tried every which way to edit that video so we could show it, and I cannot find a decent one.
I feel like this needs a little more liquid. Well, actually,
You're good.
no.
You're good. I don't have that much anyway.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to go until I run out of mortar. Okay, here's the next layer. I'm getting skinnier at the top, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep up with the front. So what I'm going to have to do, maybe nudge things forward a little bit.
It's tough to do with our variety of
Either
rocks.
that or grab something like this that brings it back forward. That might work. And then, maybe like that, which I really don't have enough of this on here. I didn't put any on there. No wonder I don't have enough. I need a lot because, unfortunately, this is not going to sit there if I don't
I
have
feel
a
like
lot.
that needs to be a little more wet.
No, we're good. That's perfect, actually. Yes, that's where you want it.
Huh.
That's right where you want
I
it.
usually get a little more wet. That way it's more.
Make sure when you're doing this,
Yeah.
you keep track of what's on the bottom. I don't do the front because when I come around to the front here in a minute, I'm going to show you I call it troweling in. I don't know the professional name for it. It's how you make your pretty little lines and you fill in all the cracks and the grooves.
Man, that stuff just absorbs.
If you do this right and you don't get semen all over the face,
Cement.
okay, I'm a Buckeye, unfortunately,
So am I.
and we say our words. If it says cement, it's cement.
Yes, but
Other people say
on
cement.
YouTube, listen, on YouTube it sounds better to say cement.
Okay, cement. I'll do it my way.
Cement. Like S-A-M-E-N-T.
Okay, you tell me something.
Uh-huh.
I kind of get into word lingo sometime. My word lingo is another variety. My word lingo is words like constable. Okay?
That's not a word I use.
You have a word that is con, which usually you got pro or con. Con's bad, right? It's against. Then you have stable, which is either a place you put horses, or it's if a person's in stable condition in the hospital.
That's why they say hold your horses.
Okay,
You
so
keep calm.
constable. If you're stable, then what do you need? It sounds like you're con against stable. I don't get it. But there's words like that, like connect, connect, nect. Con means anti, pro, con. If I can figure out what nect is, then I would know what connect means.
Well,
But
you know
anyway, there we are. I'm out of mortar mix, so I'm going to stop there. Even though I have this over here that's not good to leave it out. I've got this weird thing piled up here on top. I wasn't able to put this up here like I had planned.
Yeah, you still got a little bit of left.
This was my plan, yeah, but I need that probably for troweling in. Okay. I've come around to the front. Now, I hope I don't block you too much.
You are.
But I'm going to use all this trim out the front. And we're going to fill in the cracks and the holes And this is kind of soupy. I like that for this part. Not real soupy, but just enough. And this is where you can get the decorative part, because to me, a lot of the decoration comes from the grout line. They call this a grout line. In a bathroom it would be. For me, it's not grout, but cement line, grout line, whatever you want to call it. So I'm trying to put this in there so it doesn't stick to the rocks too much. Okay. Now the troweling in part is kind of interesting. That didn't go right. That's way back up in there. It's kind of interesting in a way. It's my favorite part of this whole job. I usually do it by fingers. And I have lost a lot of skin on my fingers. So I'm not going to do it that way. I bought this fancy little thing. Came 2 in a kit from Walmart. $3 discounted. So I'm just going to show you my idea here. Okay. And one thing is, you can see the convex. This right here should have been out to the front, but it also shows you a style, because this rock walls are not supposed to be perfectly, okay? They're supposed to go with, you know, with rocks. If I wanted to, I could put a piece in there, build it out. Why do that?
That one looks a lot better than the one I did.
But what part I call troweling in, it's your pathway, a smooth pathway between. Now on concrete, it's a lot easier because you got 2 bricks there. But you smooth this out, and that also punches it in. This turns out not the best thing. I usually do this by fingers. I've worn a lot of fingers off. So I'm going to do it this way. Not the best. There's a big wad of cement here. I think that was that hole we filled in. You can see how it's already drying out here in this heat. But you can see kind of what I'm talking about when I trowel in. It's just making it look pretty-ish. I always try to use these crumbs at the bottom because they're not good for anything anyway. See, I can come back to the edge, wipe a lot of this stuff off. Makes it easier. Now this up here at the top isn't, I have no cement there, I just did that for looks. Trying to turn this back where it goes. You can see here, kind of make a pretty-ish. Well, that really sticks up in there. But as you can see, how I do it, maybe not the best way to do it. Come back behind the camera again. But it's the OFFGRIDer way of doing it, which might mean something to some of you. Maybe not. And it's hard work. You're doing this out here in the sun. It's a lot of sweat. It can be slow or it can be fast. If you got somebody breaking up the rock and you got somebody handing the rock to you and keeping the mortar mix, it goes pretty fast. But with here, it's usually just the 2 of us. But that's it. I'm going to call it quits with this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it and you get something out of it. This is just informational in case you want to try it yourself and you've never done it. Of course, it's the OFFGRIDer way. Always remember this. This is only my way. But please, like, share, subscribe, and Sam's back there saying, hit that bell.
Hit the bell icon.
Thank you so much for watching.